Now, there's no doubt about it that Disney and Lucasfilm are really trying to regain a lot of the lost fans that walked away from the Star Wars franchise after the sequel trilogy's end, and especially ever since the Gina Carano situation back in February of 2021. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that yes, we do have George, John, and Dave really aiming to make Star Wars brighter than ever before, to really borrow a lot of Star Wars Legends content and throwing it into the Disney canon to keep it as accurate as possible. In fact, Jon Favreau recently opened up a couple of weeks ago about all of this and stated that he really wants to make Legends pretty much embedded within the Mandalorian story to really attract the fans that have supported the franchise for over 40 years. So at the end of the day, it's really all about paying respect to the fans that really allowed the franchise to grow and thrive. Now, when you look at everything, what's been going on between George, John, and Dave, Jon Favreau specifically, alright, he got a big promotion over at Lucasfilm a couple of weeks ago, as we discussed. This actually allows him to have a lot of creative influence over a handful of the new Star Wars universe projects, as well as just other stuff that he's not even involved in, like the video games, the comics, etc. Now, on top of all of this, this brings us to, of course, the Star Wars films. Now, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are very well aware about what's been going on with the whole plan by Disney executives to course correct the use of Star Wars movies again. Now, they're finally coming to their senses that Star Wars should not just be about TV shows, it's gotta go back in the theaters, it's gotta really, go back to its traditional routes, and that's what they're really trying to push into, of course, bringing them back into the form of trilogies. Now, we talked about this for a very long time now, and it's been something that's been going back and forth for multiple reasons, and we're going to dive into this in just a second. Now, with Disney already pre-planning the roadmap of the Star Wars universe and figuring out what films to pursue for the Star Wars universe, one project that has been in the early stages now for 2 whole years is finally moving forward, that is set to bring in many A-list actors and actresses, that is currently dubbed as the 4th Star Wars trilogy for now. Now, the general aim for the new trilogy is that it will be a pre-prequel trilogy era set in between both the High Republic and the Old Republic. The general story that Lucasfilm was already crafting is that it will take place in the unknown regions during the Forbidden Era of Star Wars that is being created, that will feature Sith royal families, one of which is said to be led by actress Elizabeth Olsen, portraying a character dubbed Lady Empress. This Sith Queen is said to have already been designed for the 4th trilogy and will appear in comics in 2023 first, beforehand, and is said to be decked out in black and carries a crimson lightsaber blade, as well as a yellow one. Lady Empress is described to lead a group of Sith Lords and a faction that is an enemy against another faction of Sith Lords that is led by King Valar, who is set to be portrayed by actor Keanu Reeves still to this day. The main reason why this project has been held up for so long was due to Keanu's busy schedule with Matrix 4 at the time and John Wick 4 and 5. Things are now moving forward finally, and Disney plans to announce these new movies officially sometime next year. Another big plan by Disney executives is to have George Lucas also involved as a co-writer for the new Star Wars trilogy. This is already planned out, and Disney has already spoke to George Lucas about it all to make these films hold tons of the prequel trilogy movies and their tones mixed in with this new one properly. Now, it's currently being debated upon on whether or not they want to release these new Star Wars movies on Disney Plus or in theaters for the fans to see. Now, let me just stop here quick. I don't know about you guys, but Star Wars movies, to me, they belong in the theaters. It's fine and all that they want to maybe expand to using Disney Plus as a platform, not just for Star Wars shows, but also for new Star Wars movies, so to speak. But there's nothing better than watching a Star Wars film in the theaters. Getting everybody's reaction at the same exact time simultaneously, seeing it on a big screen, having that amazing surround sound. I mean, there's nothing like it. When you look at, of course, these Star Wars films in theaters, versus, of course, you know, their potential plan here to put them on Disney Plus, I think that there's no comparison. I don't know about you guys. But at the end of the day, I think that they will cave. I think that they will finally accept to put these out into the theaters instead of Disney Plus. It's going to take a lot of time and effort on their part to decide about that until next year. So with that being said, moving forward from all of this, I think that the biggest point about this that is very positive is that they are allowing George to step in as a co-writer for these new Star Wars films. And the fact that they are getting a lot of Marvel actors and or actresses involved with Star Wars shows and movies, you name it, such as a prime example like Elizabeth Olsen stepping on board of this new trilogy as Lady Empress, as we discussed a couple of months ago, actually. Now, Lady Empress, that's just a current, you know, dubbed name for the character, by the way. This is actually said to be a very original character. They really want to make sure that this trilogy is going to be something of its own, while also paying respect to the overall tone of the prequels, and of course the Old Republic era as well. Now, moving past all of this, they are currently trying to find a way how to market these new movies on whether or not they want to call them chapters or parts under a main film title. The plan by Disney is to make these movies feel very dark and gritty with a mixture of Lord of the Rings and Star Wars together, with elements of Harry Potter as well. The trilogy is mainly about the Sith, with the Jedi being the characters used in the background. It's aimed to be a movie trilogy about villains mostly, that will offer new perspective for the Star Wars fans on the dark side of the Force and the secrets of the Sith, and more to come in the future as well for the Star Wars community. So here's another thing that I think a lot of fans need to know, is that these new movies that are in the early stages, that are now finally moving forward into pre-production, that are going to be officially announced next year at Celebration, is that they want to make sure that it's all going to be done by A-list actors and actresses, to really use that as a way to propel fans of those performers or those actors to actually join the Star Wars universe. Now, I don't know about you, but do you think that's a smart plan by Disney to use A-list actors to attract non-Star Wars fans to watch these movies, to build up the momentum, and to create new Star Wars fans? That's their game plan right now. I don't know if you guys view that as a good or a bad move, but I think it holds potential. I still, to this day, however, believe that using some unknowns is probably the best way to go, because it creates more breathing room for the actors to do something new, but I digress. The thing about this too is that this Forbidden Era, it's going to be a brand new era. It takes place in between the High Republic and the Old Republic. So it's an era that we have never seen before in Legends or in the current canon material. So that's one big plus about all of this, is that it will be something of its own. So anyways, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. Everything related to Elizabeth Olsen, Keanu Reeves, and how George Lucas is getting involved as a co-writer. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.